What's up, everybody? It's Coach Marty P. Hill with Sweet Science Boxing Club here in Atlanta, Georgia. Here we are, the weekend or the Monday after the latest big super fight, mega fight this past weekend between Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Tank Davis. I usually like to wait till after the weekend and get my feedback out to everybody about what I thought about the fight. I don't like to give it right away because I want to kind of take the weekend and digest a little bit that Sunday after. Kind of read what everybody else is saying and watch some other videos and kind of get other opinions and then formulate my own opinion and give my thoughts on what I think about the fight and breaking it down. I mean, let's be honest, everybody at home, were you really surprised? I think a lot of us boxing people and boxing fans kind of had more of an idea of not when, Tank was going to do what he did on Saturday night. Tank is just right now on a different level, I believe, at where he's at. He's improving. He's getting a lot better. He's been a phenomenal fighter. But for my opinion on what you saw Saturday night, it was his IQ. He was really just waiting to set traps for Ryan. And it was clear that he was going to set up a nice trap, counter punch if Ryan had made a mistake, because he had figured that Ryan was going to make certain mistakes. And we all know Ryan's a very straight-up fighter. Not a lot of bend and break in his legs, and he's not that elusive. And you've got a tall fighter with a shorter fighter, which makes it very hard. If that taller fighter is not elusive, it can what we call change different levels, up, down, side to side, to be able to get down to that level with that shorter fighter, then bend and break to be able to counter punch or even roll, slip, or block some of those punches that shorter fighter is going to try to throw. It's real difficult for a taller boxer like Ryan to have success. We all kind of knew that, and we were all kind of hoping that through Ryan's training camp that we would have seen some of those improvements and some of that fluid, flexible movement would have been incorporated, so he would have been able to not just got to Gervonta, but more importantly, been able to evade some of Gervonta's shots. And as we saw, I think in the second round or first round, whatever that was, it didn't happen. He actually rolled himself right into a powerful shot. Kudos to Ryan. He got up. Most a lot of fighters would not have got up from that shot. He did get up and he did continue. But I think after that point on, he knew that Tank's power was too much, and not so much his power to coincide with that, but I just think he knew Tank was on a different level. I mean, again, watch those first 2 or 3 rounds of the fight, and you'll notice that Tank is really baiting Ryan to throw certain punches into what we call the gap, so he could have pulled back and popped Ryan or got 2 shots on Ryan. So, kudos to Tank. He fought a great fight. High boxing IQ. If you're a really good boxing aficionado, you would have seen a lot of things and a lot of the traps that Tank was setting for Ryan. And we kind of knew that Ryan would eventually fall into some of those traps. Hopefully, again, Ryan learns from this fight. He's got a lot of potential, fast hands, obviously tough fighter, very well experienced. If he can change a couple of things, add a couple of things to his game, he'll be able to come back, and he'll be a big problem in that 130 to 140 weight class. So, the biggest, I think, victory out of this weekend would be you had 2 different promotional companies putting their differences aside to come together, and you had 2 fighters that wanted to fight. So you had 2 fighters that wanted to fight. You had 2 promotional companies, I'm not sure how many sub-promotional companies involved, that made that fight happen, which made it a good production and a great promotion that we're all looking forward to. So I think that if other promotional companies and other governing bodies and so on and so forth, and more so the fighters, will push and encourage these other fighters to fight, I think we could be on the brink of something and have some really good fights coming up for the West of 2023, as well as moving into next year and so on and so forth. So boxing's in a great place. All this nonsense that boxing is dead again. For the 100th time we've heard that BS, and this fight was going to resuscitate life back into boxing. Boxing's been red hot for the last 3 years, so don't let nobody tell you any different. That's just marketing propaganda and bullshit, and I'm going to say it. Boxing is fully alive. It's red hot. We got some really good young prospects out here, some really big names, some other names you never heard of, but boxing's red hot, and continue to be a fan and applaud Ryan and applaud Gervonta for a great performance this weekend. We've got another big fight coming up with Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko, I think, in a couple of weeks. And we got some other great fights coming up after that. So continue to support boxing. Continue to watch boxing. This is Coach Marty P. Hill with Sweet Science Boxing Club in Atlanta, Georgia. Hard work, easy work.